electric stuff. It's not necessarily the easiest when you're that juiced up and adrenalized. And I thought he did a phenomenal job of getting through that, tough inning, that bases loaded inning. And that really gave us the juice and energy to run off the field with that momentum. And obviously this guy to my right, man, he was locked in and swinging it, and you could put this guy in the 6-hole. Whoa. Just, as he said, with Matt Klein being back in the lineup, man, we're really stretched out. We got some options. Jake said third, fourth, sixth. We're just kind of splitting up the righties and the lefties, and it's just a good game for us all the way around.
All right, we'll take questions from players first. Remember, mics are around the room if you need them.
Jake, phenomenal hitting game for you. What was going right with your at-bats?
Just the approach, kind of getting back to what gave me early season success. For me, just trying to be calm, move the baseball, and try to stay on the line.
Yeah, go ahead.
Patrick, to be able to go out there, I know there were a couple jams that you were able to get out of. The strikeout working really well for you today, obviously. Kind of talk about what this performance was like for you and where it stacks up in your career of performances to this point.
Yeah, I don't think I really had my best stuff. Kind of felt like every inning I had to work out of something, some type of jam. I think I just like stressing out Coach Mack over here. It's really easy to pitch when everything's going your way, so I think just showing that I could get out of those jams was huge, and then the run support and Jake sending a few to the berm was huge for me. So
Good.
Kind of piggybacking off that, the crowd, was electric tonight. How did that help you guys get out the gym? And then even, when you're at athlete and batting, how big was the crowd in this?
no, the crowd's huge for the momentum, just the home field advantage part of it, and then really just getting the runs across, I think, kind of deflated them just a little bit, enough for us to gain a bigger lead. So the crowd was huge, and it's a great showing from all the Cardinal fans.
Yeah, we are 100% feet off of it. I think there's no better feeling than running into the dugout after a big strikeout, and then getting the bat in your hands, and then getting an opportunity to put some runs up. So we feed off that, and the crowd drives us. The dugout drives us. So it's awesome.
You guys seem to play kind of loose. It almost seemed like there's a kind of freedom out there for you. Was that a byproduct of playing at home and being comfortable, or would you say something? There was any other reason for that?
I think definitely we've been much better at home this year. So I think the freedom just comes from the preparation and the confidence part of it, and knowing that we could compete with anybody really.
Yeah, picking up that, the preparation. Not only that, but when things are rolling, confidence is contagious. We've been saying that a lot. So I think a lot of guys in our lineup are confident. Guys you haven't seen play yet, they're confident.
Great.
Yeah, talk about the two pitches that you hit. Were they what you were looking for, or just in the zone you were looking for them, or what happened?
Yeah, the first one was 2-0, so I was just looking for fastball, trying to drive it right back at him. And I got that pitch. The second one, still trying to drive a fastball right back at him. Kind of just hung a breaking ball. As a hitter, you take those. So.
Patrick, what was the game plan with your cutter in this game? Didn't really use it much last week because you were rolling, but it seemed like you broke it out at an opportune time in this one.
The cutter, I think I only threw it just to Cuvée in that one at bat. So I think he looked a little confused when I brought it out there in like the third or fourth inning. But the fastball and slider were working as usual. It wasn't as consistent as I would like. Had the 4 walks in there, which I need to clean up. But I think I competed and only gave up the 1 run and got the win, so that was huge.
You guys talked a little bit about the crowd a minute ago, but when you come here and these are some of the things that you kind of look forward to, whether you're an in-state kid or whether you've and been here 3 years, or whether you're are a transfer in, like, how did it live up to the expectation of kind of what you thought or what was sold to you about playing big games at home here?
That's all you can dream of is the crowd that showed up today. That was huge. It's definitely one of the loudest crowds I've played in front of. I think elementary school days up there close with that, but I think the fans today beat the little kids.
Yeah, it was everything I thought it would be and more. You know, seeing the burn fill up first before the stands did, and then, you know, running out there for the first time and looking around, you know, it was awesome. It's the reason why I came here. Wanted to come to this program, wanted to win. We have a chance to do that.
Okay.
Guys, how big is getting the first one, getting off to a good start in such a short series?
It's great getting the first one. You definitely don't want to be digging out of a hole, and we got a lot of good pitchers still ready to go that didn't throw this weekend, and the bats are going to continue to do their thing. So I like the spot we're at right now.
Yeah, it's ideal to get the first one, but you know, if we did get the first one, we'll get the next two. You know, we're not here to take the easy route. Regardless of what it takes to get it done, we'll do it. So if it helps.
All right, take questions for Coach.
Coach, I don't know how much you've seen of Griffin Hughes. You know, he's pitching tomorrow for Miami. He had that complete game in Hattiesburg. Do you have a plan of attack for him on the short turnaround?
Well, you know, we watched a lot of video on him, and strike thrower, you know, to go 9 innings, man, that's not easy. You don't see that often in college baseball. So commands multiple pitches. And the thing always impressed us about the Miami staff was they don't just pitch one way. They have the ability, you know, against an opponent, they'll pitch a certain way, and then you see them a couple weeks later. They've always done a great job with their pitchers, and you know, it's just be aggressive in balls in the zone, and do your best to stay out of the zone, and as always, compete with 2 strikes, and as we like to say, just, you know, be offensive.
Yes.
Coach, I know going into game 1, you said you would have an unnamed starter for game 2. Now that you have won game 1, do you know who will be starting tomorrow on the hill?
I think it's going to be Tucker Biven. I like to let Coach Williams confirm that, but I think like he did at the regionals from these guys saying they kind of got a text message just because they want to win, and they're all hands on deck. So instead of just announcing 3 starters, you know, Biven and Eberle, who have pitched out of the bullpen, were, you know, hey, you might have to pitch tonight. And so, yeah, I would think all signs line up to Tucker getting involved tomorrow.
Great.
Just wonder what you saw from Jake when he hit those 2 bombs.
You hear him, it's just staying through the middle, stays on the ball. I mean, he talked about how hot he got off at the beginning of the season, and it's not like he ever really slumped. But, yeah, I mean, he does such a good job, and just hearing what Coach Snyder and Coach Rabel preach is the reason you stay middle is so you can handle, you know, fastball and breaking balls, and hitting's not easy, you know, so these guys work awful hard at it, and it's fun because, you know, as we said, confidence is contagious, and these guys, you know, as they should be, the lineup is very confident right now.
And how big was it to get this in tonight, and all the rain, and Coach Ardiega was talking about it too. You guys didn't look very happy for a few minutes out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's hard. I mean, it's you know, you got to follow protocol, and you got a lot of people involved, and you know, but as baseball coaches, we're pretty hard-headed. We're very stubborn, and we play in a lot of bad weather, so we don't, you know, we don't like delay. I mean, delays are part of the game. It happens, but we're just, you know, this is, you know, from January, whatever, 7th or 8th to now, you know, we're kind of used to dealing with, it was just more, obviously you lose the fans, right? You lose the excitement, and then you got to turn around and play at 11 a.m. tomorrow, which is fine, but, you know, we knew the window was closing, right? I mean, we kind of all said, hey, by 6:30, it's going to be this, and so I didn't know if we were going to even be able to finish it, which is part of baseball. If there's anything I keep saying, and whether it's the rain, we talked about weather yesterday, we've been through the hard. This group has been through the hard. That's what makes me very peaceful and very confident that you learn a lot, you grow a lot, you get tougher, you become better as a player and as a team when you go through the hard. And it's funny because Dr. Elko spoke right before the season about the hard. And you have to embrace the hard. And there's a lot that's hard about the game of baseball. And how much you can benefit from the hard. And, like I said, these guys have been through it all year. So, curveballs like that are just part of the game.
Dan, if you could give us a glimpse into your pregame speech tomorrow, is it 9 innings from Omaha, or is it it's a basic, simple approach?
Yeah.
with the ball?
No, it's a good question. I won't say that word. I think this group has done a phenomenal job of just really enjoying the journey. We have a player that speaks to the team every week, once ACC play starts, and these two guys had great messages, and as a coach, I kind of just feed off of what are they preaching, what's their lingo, because players listen to these guys very, very intently, and they take it to heart, and not that they don't respect their coaches, but again, sometimes, we're like parents. It just starts bouncing off their forehead. The season's just so long, and I, as a coach, you try to do less, say less. But this guy used a phrase, and I said it on national television, last weekend in Nashville about the man who loves the journey goes a lot farther than the man who loves the destination. And we've taken that phrase because that's what these guys are on. They're on an awesome journey, and they just need to enjoy it and just enjoy the journey. What they saw tonight and what they get a chance to be a part of tomorrow, and they don't need to worry about anything else, man. Just enjoy Jim Patterson Stadium, and we get a chance to play a really good, ACC conference opponent in Miami.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, if the weather had continued, how long would they have waited, or at some point would they have declared you the winner, or would the game have restarted tomorrow, or how was it going to play out?
Yeah, it's called the halted rule, and the halted rule means you have to finish the game. So
Tomorrow?
Yes, and that happens a lot in baseball. Straight baseball is if you're playing a Tuesday night game and a team has to drive back, 3 hours.
Right.
They would call the game there in the 8th with 2 outs, and that team would get on the bus and it would be an official game. But your weekend series are what's called halted game. So you basically have to finish the 9 innings. So we've done that,
So
a
you
lot.
have been out here like at 10 in the morning?
Well, I
finishing?
don't know if we just started early just because of the time frame, and but TV does have a say, and we're very fortunate to be on national television as much as we are. So as you tease these guys, man, whether it's early in the morning or it's late at night, we talk about professional athletes, and we see the times that they play, and they fly across the country, and that's part of it. If you want to be a pro, you got to be able to handle it. So we'd have been able to start as early as they wanted us to tomorrow, but I don't know if we would have finished before the 11 o'clock game because of TV, or if we just would have started at 11 and then tried to continue on.
Coach, I know that Patrick kind of joked about giving you anxiety out there, but to be able to stick with him inning after inning and just having that confidence in him, talk about what you've seen over the course of his career that allowed you today to feel confident that he could do what he did, and the ultimate end result at the end of the day.
He made a comment about it. He knows the world of pitching is you got to pitch out of jams. I mean, yeah, you might get an inning or two where the ball gets hit right at people and 3 up, 3 down, but I mean, college baseball, it's, and I think Jake said, it's not supposed to be easy. You got to pitch out of the stretch. You got to control the running game. You got to make pitches when there's runners in scoring position. And that's where, for someone like Patrick, who's a great athlete, two-way player, and hasn't pitched his whole life, he's been on the mound, but he just hasn't been in enough of those situations where I thought this was going to be a huge growth year for him. And so it's fun to see, like literally the last month, and just pitching out of the stretch, pitching out of jams, not letting it snowball on him. He gives up the 2-run homer last week, and then I don't know if another guy got on base, I'd heard, or maybe a walk or something. But that's what pitching is. So his best days are ahead of him. Like I mean, and I think pro ball knows that because of how fresh he is. That man, this body, this arm. this mindset, I mean, some organization's gonna get a future superstar, and it's gonna be fun watching his career.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.